Good afternoon to those who listen. It's January 11th, 2025, 3:18 p.m. And this is from 3 days ago. I contacted my doctor to see, if I could get an MRI done because I'm starting to think that the only way to figure out what is wrong with me is through an MRI. And the last doctor I seen, he was for the hernia, but he says it's not a hernia where my problems are. My problems are right below my waist, like in the crack of your leg, towards the groin area. And then, once that gets bad or irritated, then it spreads up into my stomach area, into the abdominals, all the way up to my lungs sometimes. I bloat really bad and pain. Now the pain has been worse lately. So I'm trying to just find a way to get my doctors to do the MRI. Now the last doctor I seen, he does the hernias, but he said they've done so many tests, there's only a couple tests left. One is a fluoroscopy, which is supposed to check the function of your gallbladder, and then there's another test after that. I'm supposed to be going next Thursday and then Friday. So next Thursday is this fluoroscopy where you drink barium for like 6 hours. He says it could take up to 6 hours, and then they do this, like, it's instead of like pictures, it's like does videos to see how your gallbladder is functioning. And then there's another one that's testing to see if there's an obstruction in my small intestines. So So yesterday I took a shower, and when I take showers I gotta make them quick, and I can't wash below my knees without having more and more pain and bloating. So I kind of skipped that, and I can only take a shower like every 5 to 7 days now. So I'm going to ask you guys if anybody wants to try this. Here's what I put in this last post. Hopefully you can read that. I'm just asking and begging for them to do the MRI. The last doctor says, I asked them, I told them, I said, I've been trying to get my doctors, any of these doctors, I've seen over 10 doctors now, and I asked them, can you refer me to get an MRI? Some of them said that they just couldn't because it's not their department. Others say it's not necessary, and it has to be like an emergency. But I mean, how much longer do I have to go through this before they, actually do the MRI or refer me for an MRI? So I've been trying to get them to do this forever, and most of them just say they're not able to. But some say it's not even necessary, and it's like so terrible. So I'm going to try to zoom in on this more. So I'm going to kind of go like this. You guys can pause this and read it. But I don't know what else I can do. So maybe if some people call, some of you guys were to actually call and just say, please, can you get an MRI for Stephen? He's in so much pain, and he needs to get this figured out. This is 8 months now that this has been going on. I'm sorry that this thing is kind of wide, so I don't know if you'll be able to read it. Especially like if you're on a phone, I don't know how it's going to show. But you can always pause this. That might be the easiest way to do it. I'll just go like this, and then I'll go like this. But my doctor is Dr. Keenan, and here's the the hospital, and here's the phone number. If you do call, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You when you call, it'll say, some options. You choose the first option, number one, and then they'll answer the phone, and you just ask for Dr. Keenan's nurse, and then hopefully, they will answer. Sometimes they're really busy, so if anything, you can just leave a message. They will get the message for sure. I mean, I've talked to some of my friends, and they're saying, you got to get tough with these doctors and demand, that you do some certain tests, because it's just taking way too long. And if it does happen to be my liver, I can't get in to see a liver doctor until May. And you know the thing where I'm saying, I'm just trying to get their attention. I don't know if this is going to be that severe, but I don't want it to be that severe, and I don't want to keep delaying this and delaying this. And one of my greatest fears about this whole situation is they finally do the tests and they find out what's wrong, and they say, oh, it's beyond, it's beyond what we can do anymore. If we could have just found this a few months sooner, we could have saved you. And I just hope it doesn't come to that. Now, I try to stay off the dicyclomine because one of the doctors says don't take that because it'll make you back up, and it does. But it does help with the pain, the lower pain. But then when that happens, it helps the lower pain, but then I get backed up, and then I have the stomach cramping up higher above my waist. So it's like one thing that helps, but then the other counteracts the other. So it's not so good. And every time I do any kind of exertion, it's terrible, and it takes sometimes days to get better. If I'm just sitting here and I don't do much exertion, and I'm laying down or just sitting back, it's not so bad. But as soon as I try to do something, then it gets bad, and it takes forever. And then I bloat really bad, and it's just very painful. And the pain is getting worse now. Before, it was more of the bloating and feeling like I was going to explode with some pain, but now I'm getting more of the pain. So I don't want to keep putting this off and putting this off. So, I hate to do all this, but, I really want to get an answer to what's going on with me so that we can figure out what to do next to get better again. So anybody that wants to call them, I appreciate it so much. Obviously today by now they're probably closed, and they're going to be closed tomorrow. So if you call now, you would just leave a message. But if you call like on Monday, you might actually get a hold of them. But a lot of times you don't, and they're busy, and they always just say leave a message and they'll call you back. So, you don't have to leave your name or your number or anything like that. You can just say I'm concerned for my friend, or concerned for my brother in Christ who's going through a lot of pain and suffering right now. Maybe I should have done this sooner. I don't know. But, before when I put up certain things, they think I'm trying to commit suicide, which I'm not. I'm just trying to get some help. So I appreciate that. And I also appreciate all you guys' prayers. If you can say a prayer for me, it's very much appreciated. I just want to move on with my life. I want to be able to get better. I want to be healed. I just don't want to be suffering for so long. It's not a good thing. I love you guys, and I really appreciate all your prayers. God bless.